So good evening, everybody. Whew. Thank you for coming to Yoga on the River. Everybody here, I think, except for Jessica, I'm Terry. I don't know, we met once, right? Yes, Saturday you were here. So we're going to do a practice today. We're going to do a vinyasa flow practice, and we're going to do different blocks with it. But it's a practice about optimism. So I think you should have something for your knees, because we're going to be start on our knees. If you want to block, there's a whole bag of blocks here. Please help yourself to those. As always, the class is free. If you'd like to donate something, there's a jar there. It's optional. 100% of that goes to Friends of Portsmouth. And I was just saying this will be the last one on this month, class for this month, because I'm not going to be here Saturday. And I think we've already raised this month like over $250 just by you guys being generous and throwing a few dollars in the jar. So thank you guys for doing that. I will not be here Saturday, but next week, I will not be here next Saturday either. This Saturday I'm going to the 100 Mile House for the weekend. It's my husband's birthday. And next Saturday I'm at a golf tournament. But I will teach a class during the week next week. I can do this Wednesday at 5 if that works for everybody. Or if it doesn't, or if the weather's bad, we could do Thursday. Does anybody have a preference? Raise your hand if you prefer Wednesday. Or if it doesn't matter, just keep your hands down. Does anybody prefer Thursday? It doesn't matter. So I think we might keep it at Wednesday then. And that way, if it rains or it's super, super cold or something, we can always move it to Thursday. So grab your padding nearby. If you want to have a block nearby, you can have a block nearby. I would put your padding underneath your knees here. This concrete's pretty hard. And then take your knees. You can either have your knees together with your big toes touching, or your knees wide with your big toes touching. If your knees are together, it kind of supports your low back a little better. Wide, you can get a little deeper. But we're going to actually come to center in child's pose. So your form of child's pose, take your child's pose, moving your hips towards your heels. Your head can come if you've got a block. This is a great use for a block to rest your forehead on the block. Your arms can be in front of you, or if you'd rather, you can bring them behind you with the palms up and flatten out the upper back if that's more comfortable for your shoulders. I'm going to come up so you can hear me. So just begin to settle into the space and notice your body. Notice how your body feels in this position as we breathe in and out and begin to ground our hips closer to our heels. We're not very active in this child's pose. We're just trying to come into the space here. Noticing how you feel in your body, noticing how the temperature feels on your skin. Noticing that breath. Begin to work on a practice today. We're going to focus on optimism. Optimism. Being optimistic. Maybe that means hope. It might be confidence. Maybe think about what optimism means to you. Helen Keller says, optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Winston Churchill says, a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, and an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. So as we move through practice today, think about when you're in quiet moments, about being optimistic about your practice, not just today, but your lifelong practice of yoga. Optimistic about your future, your present, and those you love. Let's begin to build that breath a little bigger now. In and out, feeling the chest rise on the inhale, and the chest fall, and the hips sink a little on the exhales. Maybe introducing that Ayuji breath, where we inhale through the nose, constricting the throat a little bit. Exhale through the nose, and it'll make a little bit of an ocean sound. Some people will equate it to a Darth Vader sound. I heard someone say once, if you imagine you're inhaling and exhaling through the tiniest little straw, that'll help you obtain that Ayuji breath. Try to carry this breath with you throughout your practice today, but knowing you can let it go at any time. And breathe whatever breath feels most natural to you. Take about 2 more big breaths. On your last inhale, exhale fully and press yourself up to a tabletop position here. Knees under hips, about hip distance apart. Wrists under shoulders. Fingertips, slight micro grip to engage those bandhas in the hand, lifting the palms to protect the wrists here. Begin to notice some extension in the spine. Belly button pulled in and to the spine here, in and up. And let's just start to move some naturally, swaying the hips a little from side to side, just kind of loosening up the hips in the back, loosening up that spine, maybe pushing your shoulders into it a little bit, one shoulder in and out, up and down, excuse me. Just whatever organic movements, you might make circles with those hips, just whatever feels good in your body today. It gets you moving and kind of warms that body up. Remember to bring your breath with you. When you're ready, we'll meet back in that neutral spine, belly button pulled up. Take a big breath in, pressing through the hands, engaging those bandhas. Big inhale, exhale, drop the chin, round the upper back, pressing your hips and heart forward. Coming up into cat stretch. Exhale, drop the belly, lift the hips, lift the chin and pull the heart forward, finding cow. Exhale, we find cat again. Rounding the upper back, tucking the chin. Inhale, hips and chin lift, heart pulls forward. Go through a couple more rounds of cat-cow, just linking the movements to your breath. You don't have to be in time with me or anyone else. Just time it to your breath. Yoga, we're always trying to work with the mind, the body, the breath, that synchronicity between them. Finish one more round and then we'll meet back in a flat back. Once we're back in our neutral tabletop position, walk your arms forward in front of you, nice and long in front of you, your hips still up, pull the belly button in, take a big inhale. Exhale, let's drop our heart and our head towards the mat, finding puppy dog. Letting the stretch through the shoulders, squeeze through the upper back. Noticing the breath as it comes in and out of the body. The inhales we soften, the exhales we sink a little more. Two more rounds of breath. Make them count. This last round, the biggest inhale so far. Exhale fully and sink the heart. Coming onto the forearms, extend the legs long behind you. You can move your mat out, your thing out of the way if you want, your little padding if you want. Our legs are long behind us. Bring our forehead down to the mat. Elbows are underneath our shoulders. Take a breath. Bring your feet a little closer together. Inhale on the exhale, press through the forearms, pulling the heart and forehead forward, finding Sphinx pose here. We're not cranking the neck here. We don't want our neck like this. We want your gaze down and the crown pulling in front of you. So we're finding extension in that spine. This is a little bit of a back bend here. This is a very mild back bend here as we begin to arch the spine. Find that breath. Two more breaths. And release the forehead down. Exhale. Inhale, let's lift our head and let's cross our arms in front of us, grabbing opposite elbows here. Allow the inside of your feet to come inward a little bit. So they're coming closer to the mat, the inside edges of your feet here. We're gonna breathe and pull the crown of the forehead forward. Exhale, we're gonna drop our forehead on our folded forearms for our crocodile pose. And a very, very mild arch in the back here. Our toes are pointed out, the inside of our feet are moving towards the mat. And then we find our breath. Couple more breaths here. Nice and big and fluid. Lifting the head, allowing the feet to go back to neutral position, coming back on our forearms, pressing down through our hands, coming back up to our tabletop position. You won't need your padding, we're not gonna stay here. Tuck your toes, inhale, and exhale, press your hips up and back, pushing the mat away from you with your palms. Heels moving in the direction of the mat. Gaze behind you. Inside eyes of your forearms twisting forward, so we're externally rotating the forearms here. And breathe. Keep a little bend in the knees, and maybe pedal out your dog. Finding some movement. Maybe one leg at a time as we stretch the back of those calves. When you're ready, come up on the toes. Exhale, pressing both heels back towards the mat, and find some stillness in the pose. Root down through the left foot. On an inhale, raise the right foot up and behind you. Coming up on the toes. Inhale, exhale, bring the right foot in between your hands. This is where you might want to grab your padding back. Stack the knee over the ankle. Drop the back knee and untuck the toe, coming to a low lunge. Knee over ankle here. Breathe in, maybe we lift the arms. Right hip pulling back, left hip nudging forward here. Belly button pulled to spine. The inhale, exhale, maybe the hips sink a little more. Oops, almost fell over there. Take your breath. That belly button's pulled in, getting nice and tall in that torso here. Fingers reaching for the sky. 2 more breaths. Last one, make it big. Exhale, let's bring our fingertips to the mat, pressing our hips back, coming up on our heel and pulling our toes towards our shin, finding our half split. Crown's pulling forward, hips pulling back. Right hip's pulling back, left hip's nudging forward. Nice length in the spine here. Finding our breath, getting a nice stretch to that back of that leg. Two more breaths. Last one. Exhale, let's bend the front knee, walk our hands forward, tuck the back toes, and step the back foot up to the front with your knees bent in front of your mat. Arms up, hips sink, finding our chair pose. Knees not protruding over your ankles here. If your knees are over your ankles like mine here, bring them back and sit down in that chair. Utkatasana here, nice and strong. Option to stay here and work on your strength, or you can take the vinyasa. Coming down, stepping or walking back to your plank, shifting forward, chaturanga, or knees, chest, up dog or cobra, meeting back, you can down dog and walking forward, meeting everyone back in chair here. You're in chair, let's all press up together and exhale. These are cute, but they're both rolling down. I'm gonna move this out of the way here. All right, we're gonna repeat all that on the left side here. Actually, I'm gonna keep that back here, so I think I'm gonna need that. So let's inhale to rise up. Exhale, we're gonna fold, walk our hands forward and find our tabletop position. Bring our knees down. Hips under, our knees under hips, wrist under shoulders here. Sway our hips a little bit again. Link our breath to our movements. Maybe our hips are a little bit looser this time than the first time. Finding our stillness in the posture. Inhale, find extension in the spine. Exhale, let's find cat. Rounding the upper back, tucking the chin. Inhale to cow. Hips and chin lift, heart pulls forward. Exhale to cat. Just continue that movement on your breath. Just a couple more rounds here. We're really getting that spine nice and loose. Make sure you're engaging those hands to protect those wrists. If you notice your wrists are bothering you, you can come up on your fists. When you're ready, find some stillness in the pose. Belly button pulls in, reaching the arms forward. Inhale, exhale, drop into puppy pose. Hips up, heart sinking. Maybe your forehead finds the mat, maybe it doesn't, that's fine. If it does, maybe you roll your forehead back and forth a little bit on your forehead there, just giving your forehead a little bit of a massage before finding some stillness in the pose. Finding your breath, sinking your heart. Inhale, come to the forearms, extend the legs long behind you. Come to your belly, rooting through both hip bones. Forehead comes to mat. Elbows under shoulders, fingers nice and wide. Inhale, exhale, press up, pulling the head and the heart forward, finding Sphinx pose here. Again, we don't want your head straight up here. We want your crown of your head pulling more towards me, in front of you, as if you're trying to make space in the vertebrae. Engage those thighs, engage those legs. Softening the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, we're going to fold the arms, allow our head to rest on our arms, our inside of our feet come towards the inside of the mat. Toes out, find crocodile here. Inside edges of your feet moving towards the mat. Reconnect with the intention of class, that optimistic attitude. Big breath in and out. You still have that Ayuji breath. Maybe build that breath back up. When you're ready, uncross the arms, allow the feet to be back to neutral, hands under shoulders, press yourself back up into your tabletop position. Inhale, tucking the toes, exhale, press to downward facing dog. Heels moving away, palms pushing the mat away. This time, let's press our weight into our right foot. Left foot comes up behind us. Exhale, we bring it in between the hands. Use your hand to help you if you need to. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Knee over ankle. Maybe the arms rise, finding our low lunge. If you need to inch your toes forward, just make sure your knee is over your ankle. Sink those hips. Left hip pulling back, right hip pulling forward. Here, belly button to spine. Fingers reaching to the sky. Find the breath. 2 more breaths, big breaths. Last breath. Exhale fully, hands come to mat. shifting the hips back, finding our half split on this side, pulling the toes towards our shin. Crown of the head pulling away from the tailbone, belly button to spine. Left hip pulls back, right hip nudges forward. Feeling the stretch in the back of the leg. If the stretch is too intense, bend the knee a little bit. Try not to round the back though to get there. Keep your crown of your head pulling away from you. Good job, everybody. Great job. 2 breaths. Last breath, inhale. Exhale, bending the front knee, tucking the back toes and stepping the back foot in, finding chair pose. Make sure the knees are not over the ankles, sitting deep in our chair. Option to stay here or take an optional vinyasa. I'm going to stay in chair and work on pulling my belly button, working on my strength. You want your work on flow, take your vinyasa. Meet us back in chair. Sink those hips a little lower maybe. When we all get back to chair, take a big breath in and sink the hips just a little smidge bit more. Inhale, exhale, come all the way back up. Find our mountain pose, find our breath. Good job, everybody. Okay, let's get warmed up now. We're gonna do a couple rounds of sun salutation. Surya Namaskar. I always say that wrong. Namaskar, Surya Namaskar A. So find your tuck, tighten, and tall in your mountain pose. I'm gonna move my mat out of the way here. Get nice and tall, pull that belly button in. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, we fold forward. Fingers to the mat. In our forward fold, chest to thighs here. Crown of the head facing your mat. Exhale, come to a nice flat back. Halfway, pulling the crown of the head away. Inhale, exhale, set the palms down and step or float back to plank. Shifting your weight forward. Inhale, exhale, you can take chaturanga, or you can drop the knees, chest, and come up to cobra or up dog. Cobra is down low, up dog, the thighs are up. Untuck the toes, exhale back to down dog. Walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat. A half back, inhale. Exhale, we fold. Chest to thighs. Inhale, press down to rise all the way up. Palms above and hands to heart center. Return them out. Let's do one more round. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands and step or float back to plank. Shifting your weight, taking chaturanga or knees, chest, up to cobra or up dog. Rolling over the toes, press back to down dog. Inhale, exhale, step or hop up to the front of the mat. We fold. Inhale to a nice flat back. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, press down to rise all the way up. And exhale back to our mountain pose. Good job, everybody. Take a minute just to close your eyes. Make sure you have that nice breath. In and out. Take a few breaths here. Reconnect to the breath. Reconnect to the nature around us. Reconnect to that feeling of optimism. I'm going to do one sun salutation B. So we're still in our mountain pose here. We're going to inhale the arms up. Exhale, bending knees, coming to chair pose. Setting the hips down here. Pull the belly button in. Exhale, we fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, we float back or jump back to plank or walk. Option to put your knees down, always here in plank. Inhale, take your chaturanga or chest, belly to the mat, up dog or cobra. Inhale, exhale, down dog. Root down to the left foot, right foot rises. Inhale, exhale, bring the right foot in between the hands. Drop the back heel. Come up for warrior one. 45-degree angle in the back foot. Right hip's pulling back, left hip's pulling forward. Knee is over the ankle. Nice and strong in our warrior here. Breathe in, exhale, bring the hands down, step back to plank. Chaturanga or belly to the mat, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, bring the left leg through. Drop the back heel, come up to for warrior on this side. Knee over ankle. This time left leg, hips pulling back, right hips pulling forward. Belly button to spine. Nice and strong. Now exhale, plant the hands and step back to plank. Chaturanga or down to the belly. Inhale, up to up dog or cobra. Tuck the toes, down dog. Walk the hands up to the front of the mat or hop. Find your flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we find chair pose. Sinking the hips low. Finding our strength, finding our breath. Can we sink a little lower? Can we pull the fingers a little higher? Root down to rise all the way up. Exhale, back to mountain. Maybe we close our eyes, find our breath again. Good job, everybody. We're nice and warm. Reconnect to that breath. When you're ready, maybe fluttering the eyes back open. Back in our mountain pose, tuck tight and tall here. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, we step the left foot back, about 4.5 feet, angled in, finding warrior one. Pulling the right hip back. Inhale, exhale, bring the hands behind us, interlace the hands. On the exhale, pressing the fists down and bringing our chest forward. Gaze down. Option to lift the arms a little further if you want to open up the shoulders. Now, if you feel any pinching in the shoulders, lower the arms back down. Finding humble warrior. Inhale, we rise back to warrior one. Arms reaching for the sky, hips sinking. Now, if you have a block here, you might want to use a block as we launch into warrior three. Your option. But step the back foot in just a little bit. Inhale. On the exhale, leading with the heart, pulling forward, finding our balance in warrior three. Finding our breath. Belly button pulsing to the spine. Inhale, exhale, bring the hands down, lifting the left leg, bringing our nose towards our thigh, finding standing half splits. Find your breath. Now exhale, bring the left leg in next to the right. Inhale, exhale, finding chair, sinking the hips. Option again, you can flow into vinyasa or stay here and work on your balance and your strength in chair. I'm going to stay in chair. This is my third class today. Breathe. If you're in chair, your belly button's pulling in. Maybe we're sinking the hips. Maybe we're bringing those fingers a little higher. If you're meeting on us in chair, take a breath and exhale, lower the arms. Take a breath here. Close your eyes maybe. Before we go to the other side, breathe in. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, opposite right leg goes back. Finding warrior one. Knee over ankle, right hip pulling forward, left hip pulling back. Belly button pulls in and up. Inhale, exhale, reach the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, pressing the fist down on the exhale and leaning the torso on the inside of the left foot. Gaze down. Option to lift the arms up higher if it doesn't bother your shoulders. Finding your version of humble warrior. Listening to your body. Finding your breath in the pose. Inhale, exhale, release the arms, coming back to warrior one, pulling the right hip forward. Inching that back leg in a little bit. Again, use your block if you want to use your block, and reach forward into warrior 3. You can use a block for balance on one arm, or you can work on balance here. Of course, now that I use the block, I can't balance. Breathe. Pull the belly button in. Heels pulling away from the fingertips. When you're ready, drop the hands and find your half split. Drop your forehead towards your knee. Mine looks more like an L. Find your half split on this side. Inhale, exhale, right hand, leg, foot comes back to meet the left. Take a breath in. Exhale, we find chair. Sinking. Sink a little lower. Inhale, exhale, come all the way back up. Take a breath. Option, close your eyes always. Look inward. Palms forward. Feeling the energy. Feeling the heat in your body. Notice how your body feels different now after flowing. Take a breath. Take a drink of water if you want. When you're ready, you might want to grab your padding back. We're going to use it. I'm going to get down on the mat a little bit. Make sure you have your padding handy. If you want to have a block handy, make sure that's near where you can reach it. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, we fold. Walk our hands forward, finding our down dog. Right leg raises to the sky on the inhale. Exhale, we bring it through. Lower the back knee and find our low lunge here. Arms coming up. I'm going to move my padding back. Adjust where you need to adjust. Sinking the hips. Breathe. Exhale, let's drop the arms. Take the leg that's on your padding and take the foot to the back side of your mat here. So we're sideways, extending the other leg long. So front leg's long, back leg's, there you go. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, right hand comes to thigh, left arm comes up and over, finding gate. Pulling the toes back towards your thigh or planting them, your choice. Whichever feels good in your body today, whichever your stretch your body needs. Maybe your gaze comes up as you roll the left rib cage back. Right rib cage rolls forward. Belly button's pulling in. Inhale, exhale, bring the arms back to neutral. Take an inhale. Exhale, plant the left hand to extend the right arm up. Option to stay here, or you can lift the right leg up to the air, pressing through the heel. Take a breath. Pull the belly button in. If your leg is up, drop the leg back down and find extension between the leg and the arm here. Inhale, come back up, raising the torso, shifting your knee and your body forward, finding half split. Pulling the toes back towards your towards your shin here. Crown pulling forward. Make sure that jaw is not locking. Unlock that jaw. Take a breath. Inhale, raising the torso up, dropping the foot. Bringing their arms up, dropping the left hand. You can stay here in a modified plank, side plank, or you can extend the left leg well and do a full side plank. Your choice. Pulling the left hip up into the right.
Did we switch sides?
Not yet. Again, option to put that knee down. It's a beautiful version of side plank. Exhale, drop the knee, come all the way back up. Turn around and find your full plank. Whichever side of the mat you want, it doesn't matter to me. Breathe in, pull that belly button, and exhale into down dog. Pedal it out. Find your breath. Inhale, the left leg rises. Exhale, we bring it in and find our low lunge. Dropping the back knee, untucking the toe. Arms coming up. Check in and make sure that knee's not beyond your ankle here. Your left, the hips pulling back, your right hip's nudging forward. Breathe in. Just So I'm taking the back leg towards the opposite side of the mat. Opposite leg comes out. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, the left leg arm comes down to the thigh. Right arm comes over, finding your gate on this side. I'm going to turn around where I can see you. Just pulling the right ribs back, left ribs forward. Finding your breath. And like I said, I'm going to turn around just so you can see me. And inhale, drop the hand down to the mat. The other arm raises. Option to lift the back leg up, pressing through the heel. Pull the belly button in. Extending the crown and the heel away from each other. Inhale, exhale, drop the back leg, bringing the arms up, finding our T position here, twisting around, pulling the toes and finding our half split on this side. Right hip, or left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. Find your breath. Shifting the leg around, planting the left, right hand opposite, whatever your opposite hand is, excuse me. I'm finding your modified side plank. Option to take full side plank. Whoops. Pulling the left hip up into the right. Rolling the right shoulder back, engaging all four corners of the hand. Always have the option to put that bottom knee down. It's a beautiful version here. Inhale, exhale, take the top hand down and step back for full plank. Pressing through the heels, belly button pulls up. Shift your weight over top of your wrist. Inhale, exhale, find your down dog. Pressing the heels back. Pushing the mat away with your hands, finding your breath. Take your gaze behind you. When you're ready, dropping your knees to our tabletop position, turning around, bringing your legs out in front of you. Woo! Find your breath. Good job, everybody. All right, so we're gonna do a bit of an inversion here, where we wanna get our legs above our heart. You have two options. Let me show you your options first before we go into it, and you can take whichever one you want. So those of you that have done my class, we do a lot of legs up the wall. That's your first option, is to come down on your back. We're all going to come down on our back. Option one is to lift the legs up, pressing through the heels. Arms can be out to a T. They can be on your belly. Second option is, if you're bending your knees, you can come up into supported shoulder stand. Using your hands below your low back to protect you, to support you. Try to keep the neck nice and straight though. When you come out of this, you bend your knees to come out. Yogi's choice. Take a breath. Settle the shoulders first. Relax the shoulders away from the earth. Pressing the legs up. If you want to take shoulder stand and you've got that in your practice, please feel free. Whatever position you're in, make sure that your neck is not arched, that you're not arching that cervical spine. Your shoulders are soft. I invite you to maybe close your eyes. So we're allowing the blood flow to reverse course here. These type of inversions are really good for you if you have varicose veins or you have edema, swelling in your legs, high blood pressure. It's a really good pose. It's a really nice one to do at home, supported up against a wall. Yeah, if you're in shoulder stand and you want to take plow and bring your feet behind you over your head, drop your toes. Otherwise, come back to legs up the wall. Shoulder stand, it's not good to hold it too long. It's too hard on your hands. Oh, I call it the COVID girth. Find your breath. If you are in plow, bring yourself back to shoulder, back to legs up. Let's all take an inhale here. Exhale, lowering the legs, bend the knees and lower the legs. Pressing them out in front of you. Take a breath. Feel this, your shoulders relax. And then roll yourself over to your belly. So we're on our belly, our hip bones are sinking into the mat. Our toes are long behind us, our feet are together. Lower your forehead to the mat and bring your arms behind you and interlace them behind your low back. We'll take an inhale and press the fists away from you as you lift the legs and pull your gaze up, finding locust. You have an option to stay here in this bit of back bend, or you can bend the knees and reach behind and grab the ankles or the feet and press the feet into the hands and find bow. Pulling the chest and the legs up off the ground. Your choice. If you're in bow and you're losing your breath, come back to locust. If you're in locust and you're losing your breath, come back to the mat. Whatever position you're in, take 2 more breaths. Last breath, and release. All the way down to the mat, bringing your elbows under your shoulders, finding your forearms. Take a breath here. Inhale, come up to your knees, keeping your forearms on the mat. Tuck the toes, pull the belly button in. Inhale, exhale, keeping the forearms down, pressing through all 4 corners of the hands. Lift the hips up as if you're going into down dog, finding dolphin. Dropping the head, pulling the belly button in, pressing the heels away. We're not going to stay here long, just 2 breaths. Exhale, drop the knees. Good job, everybody. Come up to the hands and knees. This is just sinking your hip and coming around to your back again. Bring your hands behind your thighs, take a breath in. Lower your back, bending your knees, putting your hands behind your knees, pulling 1 knee to each armpit. Soles come up to the sky, finding our happy baby. Maybe you reach up and grab your ankles or the inside of your inseams, pulling the knees towards the armpits, excuse me. And maybe you rock the baby. Massaging that low back. Any tight spots there. And when you're ready, dropping the feet to the mat, knees bent, bringing the soles of the feet together so the pinky toes touch, allowing the knees to open wide, reclined bound angle here. Your shoulders are nice and soft. Your hands can be on your belly or out to a T if you want to open the heart and the shoulders. Maybe close the eyes. Just let gravity do the work here. If you notice any tugging or pain from those knees, then please straighten the legs. But otherwise, we're just going to let gravity open the groin and the hips there. So connect to the breath. Can you soften anywhere in the upper body anywhere? Is there anywhere you can let go of anything place you're holding on? Just let it go. When you're ready, take your hands and put them on the outside of each thigh, 1 hand on the outside of each thigh, and use them to gently press your knees back up. As you pull your knees into your chest and give yourself a little bit of a hug. And let's take a big inhale, bringing the arms out wide to a T, dropping both legs to the left, and a supine twist here, a nice gentle twist. Maybe the right hand sits on top of the knees as a weight. Maybe our gaze comes over our extended arm. Nice gentle twist. Make sure we're breathing big. Sometimes we have a tendency to hold our breaths and twist when we're kind of twisted up like this. Make sure you're breathing. If you notice any pinching in that extended shoulder there, just bring the arm closer to your body until that goes away. Take an inhale and bring our gaze back up. Bring the knees back to center. Give ourselves a little hug. Inhale, the arms come out and we drop the knees to the right. Maybe the gaze comes over the left. Maybe we've used the hand to pin down the knees. And we close our eyes and notice what we're feeling on this side compared to the other side. Always check in with that shoulder. Make sure you're not feeling any tugging or pulling on that shoulder. If you are, just bring the arm a little closer to the body. And it'll help relieve that pull. Check in with your mind. If your mind has started to wander off to what you need to do after class or something else that happened today, bring it back to that Ayuji breath. Feel that ocean sound in the back of the throat. Take another big breath in, bringing our gaze and our knees back to neutral. Take a big inhale and give ourselves another hug. Exhale fully. Inhale and stretch the body long, arms and legs. Squeezing every muscle in the body, making fists, the jaw, the cheeks, the legs really, really tight. And then exhale, ease into your Shavasana. Using whatever props you want. If you want to bend your knees, or put a blanket or a towel over your head or your body, your sweater. And find some stillness in the body once you've wiggled out all of the little places that need adjusted. Maybe the feet splay out. Maybe the palms are up or on your belly. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good to you. If that feels safe. We're no longer trying to build the breath, that Ayuji breath. We're just letting your natural breath be. Let everything go. It's perfectly normal when we're in stillness for thoughts to creep in. Just let them float on by as if they're clouds, recognizing them but not engaging them. Knowing that you can address those later when you get off your mat. Begin to start to deepen the breath. Noticing how that changes the flow of air in and out of the body. Noticing how your body feels after your practice today. Maybe you introduce little movements back. Maybe wiggles of the toes or fingers. Maybe little circles with the ankles and the wrists. Any other movement that feels good to your body. I invite you to keep your eyes closed as you pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug and gently finding your way over to one side or the other. pausing here on your side. As before we re-enter, and just taking a moment, another moment, to think about optimism. What consumes your mind controls your life. This week, maybe think of focusing on feeding your mind with love, feeding your mind with hope, and the expectation of success. Find optimism in everything that you do. Inhale, using your hand to help press you up to a seated position. Whatever comfortable position works for you, whether that's easy seat or locust or whatever works for your body. Finding a little extension in the spine still. Finding that breath. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, let's bring the palms and lower them to our heart center, resting our thumbs on our sternum. Pressing into the hands, feeling that energy, feeling that pressure. Thank you for coming and sharing your practice with me. Thank you for showing up on your mat, making time for yourself. It's so important that we do that. Thank you all for being with me today. Namaste. Oh, thank you, everybody. I think I need a nap. So I'm going to turn this off here.